What's going on, guys? Got just a cup of coffee, a little Maxwell House, wake me up roast, ready to go. We're about 11 weeks out from the big show that this whole prep is kind of centered around, and about 8 weeks out from first time getting on stage. So this morning we're going to do some cardio, fasted cardio, but before that I just want to kind of go over like some of the supplements that I'm using in the mornings so that I can feel my best. So like one of them is going to be New Pept. It's a nootropic. It just gives you kind of a cognitive boost during the day. It was discovered in the night, or I guess developed in the 90s, and then it's been pretty useful since then. It's been pretty well known. It's been used by a lot of people. It's not the oldest nootropic. The oldest nootropic is going to be paractum, however you say it, and that was discovered in like the 60s or some shit. The difference between paractum and this is going to be that this is a way more potent, and it takes a lot lower dose to get the same effects out of it. Then you're going to have SOU PP332. This one's used as kind of like a fat burner, so to speak, but it doesn't seem to have very many negative side effects at all. It's a research chemical. It's totally legal for purchase. Everything that I use is fucking legal for purchase, just because I don't like dealing with lawyers and loopholes and all kinds of other things that could cause me problems with my job. But yeah, the SOU PP332, from what I understand, it puts your body in the state of like being post-workout, where you're like super absorbent to other things like nutrients, but also to where you're kind of like burning more fat. My coach seems to think it's okay, because I asked him about it. He's like, yeah, it's great for like pre-cardio or whatever. Go ahead and use it. So I was like, all right, cool. Trust the guy. Then there's methylene blue, another one that I'm going to take in the morning pre-cardio. And the reason I'm going to take that one is because it's going to upregulate mitochondrial function, right? And now what that's going to do is it's going to make you feel a little more alive during the day. It's going to make you feel like you're a little more on top of your shit. It's going to help lift the mental fog, for the most part. It's a mechanism of action and what it's going to do. Then I'm also going to take Tudka, right? So the reason I'm taking Tudka is because when you're training really fucking hard, your liver enzymes are going to be elevated. Right? It's not indicative of like having, fatty acid all over your liver, or like liver damage. But, it's going to be elevated because you're working really fucking hard, and it's important that you kind of stay on top of that. So that's why Tudka's in the mix, because I'm training really hard right now still. I haven't started to, taper down or anything like that quite yet, because, I'm still eating a pretty good amount of food. So a little bit of time before I get on stage. So, I'm taking some stuff to help me kind of keep my liver in check. Another one I'm going to take is L-glutamine, right? And that one is not so much for performance reasons as much as it is just because, I kind of have kind of this pretty nasty fart to me, the same thing all over, like every day, over and over and over again. So what L-glutamine fasted in the morning does is going to help your gut lining. So, I take that in the morning fasted pre-cardio. I take everything I just showed you, fasted pre-cardio. I use L-carnitine pre-cardio. I don't use the oral version just because the bioavailability is I think it's 10 to 15%. So I'll use injectable L-carnitine, about 300 milligrams a day pre-cardio, so, that I can get some of the benefits of L-carnitine that way, because the bioavailability of it's 80%. And the other between the injectable version and the oral version is that one is injectable and one is oral. One's got calcium, whatever the fuck they use to actually put the L-carnitine powder into a capsule and then get into your system. The other one's got bacteriostatic water, but they're both the same properties, the same compound, the same active ingredient of the shit that you would find at GNC that doesn't actually do fuck all. But yeah, so that's what I do, and every morning pre-cardio, and about to finish up this cup of coffee, gonna get ready for the day, and go smash this cardio, and then we're gonna train later. What's going on? So we just finished up morning cardio, fasted cardio, 20 minutes on an incline treadmill. I'm about to have this first meal of the day. So right now I'm still eating pretty high calories. It's 3,600, I think, or some shit like that. But the first meal is my favorite meal because it's oats, protein powder, and blueberries. And it's because it's super fucking filling, it's satiating, it just feels good. And so what I'm going to do here is about 120 grams of oats, try to get it as exact as possible. You're gonna do 50 grams of protein powder. I've really started to like this farm-fed shit. I think it's Seth Feroci's company that makes it, Axe and Sledge. But it's the cinnamon apple pie one. It's only got 100 calories in it. It's straight protein. The only carbs that are in it is a gram of fiber. And there's no fats to it, which really isn't that big of a deal. But, when you're trying to keep your fat intake low and, you can sacrifice it in places you may not necessarily, even realize that you have it or that it matters. Like protein powder, for example. Why not give myself that extra leg up? That. I like to shake it so that it kind of sinks in together for a little bit before I start adding the water. In my plan, I'm allowed to have I think 200 grams of almond milk with it. But I like the way that it tastes with water better. And 150 grams of blueberries. That's meal one. Alright, so let's get done with meal one, and now we're going to go over the supplements that I use during, everything really, but what I ingest after meal one. Right, so vitamin C, great for antioxidant support, great for the kidneys. Take 1,000 milligrams of it in the morning, 1,000 milligrams of it with my last meal. I'll wait till I explain it, till I fucking do all that shit. Yep. Vitamin E, and I take one of these, so 1,000 units in the morning, 450 milligrams, and then 1,000 units for it with my last meal. 5,000 units of vitamin D3. I take about 200 micrograms of vitamin MK2, or vitamin K2 is MK7. And then I take 2 of these soft gels krill oil. The reason that I use krill oil is because it's more absorbable than fish oil, so you don't have to use quite as much of it to get the same benefit. But it's about 220 milligrams per one. Yeah, 220 milligrams per one of krill oil. I take 2 of them with every meal that I eat during the day. But, yeah, and then I've also started using ashwagandha in the mornings, just to kind of help me relax a little bit more throughout the day. I've realized that it's kind of helped me chill out more. Like, I can feel it in my shoulders and my neck. Like, I'm less tense. I'm not as cranked forward as I normally am. Placebo, maybe not. I don't know. I seem to like it. It's worked very well for me since I've started using it, so I'm just going to keep using it. But, yeah, that's morning time supplements. We're going to go over what I take to work every day so that I can eat and train and do all the shit that I need to do. Right? So, got my pre-workout meal right here, 130 grams of chicken, 300 grams of white jasmine rice, 100 grams of green beans. It's basic stuff, or as Ronnie Coleman said, but the basic stuff, And that's what I eat pre-workout, and there's also about 100 grams of pineapple. Each one of these little rings in this can is about 40 grams. I don't really trust myself to do the math properly by eyeballing a half of a fucking pineapple ring. So what I do is I just do 3 rings of pineapple, so it comes out to 120 grams pre-workout, and then I have it again post-workout, my post-workout meal, which, I can just do 80, and then 80 plus 120, that comes out, for some reason that makes more sense in my head, and it still gets me to the 200 grams of pineapple that I'm supposed to have. For the post-workout meal, got a reliable fucking knockoff Frosted Flakes. It's straight carbs. There's no fat in it. Not that the fats in cereals really matter. Like if it was Apple Jacks or Lucky Charms instead, it wouldn't make a fucking difference. But I like Frosted Flakes better. And again, it cuts off a little fat where I don't even really notice that I'm getting it. So fuck it, why not? With that cereal though, I'm gonna have almond milk and then some more of this fucking farm fed. It's really good shit. I love it. It comes with more servings than like the CBum protein, whatever the fuck it is. That it's about the same price as the GNC. But yeah, and then again I'll have pineapple, but I'll only have 2 rings of it instead of 3. That way it comes out to an even 200 grams, span out over 2 meals. We're supposed to be 100 grams each. Then I get my post workout meal right here, and that's gonna be 250 grams of rice, 100 grams of green beans. It's supposed to be some kind of like cod or whitefish, but I kind of fucked up this weekend. Didn't make the cod or halibut like I could have. So it's gonna be all right. Well, little can of albacore tuna is gonna come to save the day. It's not really recommended or anything like that, but fuck it, we ball. And then I'll give you the 4 out of 5 meals that I have during the day. That last meal of the day is usually what I have around 6 p.m. and I go to bed at 8. So, it gives me time to digest and everything, and, it gives me time to, like, kind of settle in for the night and then go to sleep and, still have time to, like, burn some fat and not be worried about digesting food while I'm trying to, rack out. But, yeah. Well, and then supplements that I'm going to take with me for, like, pre-workout or with the food for the day. Going to have All Reliable here. It's creatine monohydrate. Just 1 scoop of that pre-workout. And then I'll be taking krill oil, because again, 2 capsules of it with every meal, and that's going to cover that pretty much. I got my one little fun drink for the day, my Dr. Pepper black cherry, or not black cherry, blackberry zero sugar. So it just tastes fucking phenomenal to me. And then I'm with the new Pept and like the methylene blue and shit like that. I haven't really felt the need to use like caffeine in any kind of excess outside of like coffee in the morning. But I always bring one just in case, like pre-workout if I'm really just dragging ass for that day for whatever reason. I got myself a little Monster Energy. It's going to give me B vitamins that I need for the day. It's going to have like 150 milligrams of caffeine, which, it's a fair amount, but it's not so much that I'm going to geek the fuck out when I'm trying to, train hard and focus on what the fuck I'm doing. Right? But yeah, so I'll load up all this stuff in a duffel bag. I've already got like, bowls and plastic spoons and shit, my own milk at work, so I take my Frosted Flakes and my protein powder and everything else with me, and get a rock and roll and get everything done for the day. All right, so went into work, got everything situated there, got a pre-workout meal in, headed to the gym. It's meso week 1, so everything's 3 reps from reserve right now. I'm not the biggest fan of that shit, personally, just because it's really hard for me to gauge, like, was that really 3 reps in reserve, or was that, like, 4 or 5 reps in reserve? Talking to my coach about it, and he was like, as, like, when you involuntarily slow down the speed of your reps, that's probably about 3 reps in reserve, so that's just kind of the rule of thumb that I go by. But, yeah, it's going to be an upper day, so it's going to have a little more chest focus than back focus this go around. But, yeah, I'm going there. I'm going to show you how I set some things up and why. Get some fucking work done. Alright, I really done fucked up with that microphone. I'm still learning how to use it and everything, so I'm just going to give you a little brief play-by-play of the gist of what I'm saying in between sets and all that good shit. So for this one, what I was pretty much saying was that it felt like 3 reps in reserve. I was going to look at the footage again and make sure that it was really 3 reps in reserve just by looking at, the perceived effort. And then I was also saying, like, yeah, I put the little rolled out pad behind me because I don't fill out the machine. I want to get a good deep stretch. Looking at it now, there's some things that I can change with the movement, the angle that I was at so that I could do better. But, it's always tomorrow. And then here I was talking about how it was pretty good shit, how it set, like, that about hit the nail on the head for what I was trying to do with three rows from reserve. I noticed in the second set I didn't really tuck my elbows until that second set, and even then it was a few reps in. So a little bit of form work there, and, should be good to go, should be Gucci. But also how it was just, it wasn't as weird to sit there and kind of talk to myself through a fucking microphone while I was doing sets as I thought it was going to be, because everyone still had AirPods in or earbuds or whatever the fuck, and no one gave a fuck what I was doing. It was not near as like eyes on me as I thought it was going to be. So if you think you're important, you're probably not. You're just like me, or maybe you are. It is weird. I don't know. And then here, I don't really know what the fuck I was saying. All I know is that I hope you enjoyed the nice little view of the titty through the t-shirt that was going on for that set. And then this one, my back was turned. You couldn't even see the fucking, like, try to read my mouth or anything. But basically, what I was doing was just kind of bitching about how the gym got a little crowded and I couldn't do the exact exercise that I wanted to. But, fuck it, we ball. You still got to get the work done. Just remember next week that I'm wasn't the exact exercise that you wanted to do, and you make your adjustments from there.
All right, and then this one's just going to be posing practice. I don't really have much to say during it because, I couldn't fucking breathe. I was trying to keep a tight core. It didn't go great, didn't go terrible. Like my grandpa used to say, it's about like a $20 hooker. It might not have been the prettiest, but it got the job done. Yeah, all in all, it wasn't a bad session. I didn't really get to record the the back movement that I did, or biceps and triceps. But I mean, biceps and triceps, or biceps and triceps. Like, who gives a fuck, right? Like, as long as your arms are growing, it doesn't really matter what you're doing, as long as you're doing it safe, Um, that and the gym started to get fucking crowded, and I'm not trying to be in everybody and their mother's way with a little tripod sticking out. And I try to be respectful of other people's space, even if they fucking annoy me with just the dumb shit that they do. But neither here nor there. But yeah, I got that done. Did a little posing practice. It's not the real posing practice. It was kind of like, all right, cool. I got a little bit of a pump. Let's see what's shaking right now. Get some more legitimate posing practice in before my last meal of the day. But yeah, that was at least most of an upper day where it's a chest focus with a little bit of back thrown in there. Tomorrow we got some legs, but later today we got last meal. Right now I'm gonna go get some motherfucking Frosted Flakes, some of that Accent Sledge cinnamon apple pie stuff that's really fucking good, a little bit of almond milk, and try to have a good rest of the day. Alright, cool. So, last meal of the fucking day. We made it through everything, got some training done. Review some footage a little bit later, see about form corrections, see about was it really 3 reps, did I have 4 or 5 more, am I bullshitting myself? But, meal number 5, closing it out, is going to be 120 grams of shrimp, 300 grams of white potatoes, 100 grams of green beans, and then I've got 50 grams of sauerkraut waiting on me too. Then after that, we'll get into nighttime supplements with the last meal of the day and call it good. Alright, so nighttime supplements. It's pretty much going to be the same thing that I did this morning with meal number 1. The only thing that's going to change is now there's going to be some N-acetylcysteine in there. And then total of 2,000 milligrams of pantothenic acid. It's dosed at 500 milligrams, so it's like 4 fucking pills. But helps to not be all gassy and stinky, so it's appreciated by others that had to be around me for extended periods of time. But yeah, another dose of vitamin C, another dose of vitamin E, no vitamin D, no vitamin K2, MK7, krill oil with this meal just like every other meal, and then these 2 bad layers right here. And then starting tomorrow,
finally had something come in the mail that I've been pretty interested about. I got stuff from Supplement Needs, Dr. Dean St. Mark's supplement company. He's a doctor. He is very well versed in blood work. He's very well versed in how to use supplements to just increase your quality of life and mitigate risk whenever you're, dieting really hard and doing all this other shit. But yeah, so like I've got his kidney stack, his heart stack, digestive stack, and the liver stack. And I'm going to probably sub out the 4, 5, 6 different pills that I've got to take during the day right now with, just these 4 right here. Do it for a month and see if it has any changes. And yeah, excited to see how that goes. But yeah, that's a day in the life for, day 1 upper in the first phase, first week of a mesocycle. But yeah, lower body tomorrow, 24-hour shift at work tomorrow, so it's going to be a great fucking day. See you then.